Hi children, before move on to our next topic, we shall revise our previous class once. What we have discussed in the last class, we have discussed about various parts of the flower. So here, this is called sepal. This is called sepal. This part of the flower is called sepal, and this only covering the young bud. Okay, so this only covering the young bud, and this brightful parts, this yellow color part is called petals. Okay, so this colorful parts, petals, used to attract the insects and birds for the pollination process. And inside of this we have anther and filament. So anther and filament are the male part of the flower, which means stamen. Okay, so this is the anther and this one filament. So anther, here only pollen grains are present. So in the anther part, pollen grains are present. And this one filament, this tube-like structure is called filament. So it only supporting the anther. Okay, so anther, it contains pollen grains, and filament, it supports the pollen grains. And we have female part of a flower in the same thing. So which is the female part of the flower? Pistil is the female part of the flower. So here this one is called stigma. The top of the pistil is called stigma, and this stem is called style. This one is called style, and below that ovary is there. Okay, so inside the ovary only ovule will be there. Okay, so ovary and ovule will be done after fertilization process. After fertilization process. Okay, so what is the male part of the flower? So this anther and filament are the male part of the flower. So here only anther, in the anther pollen grains are present, and this is a tube-like structure, so it only supports the pollen grains. So anther and filament together called as male part of the flower stamen, and female part of the flower style, stigma, ovary and ovule. So stigma, on the top of the stigma, only the pollination process occurs. Okay, and this style is a portion that connects the stigma to the ovary. Okay, and ovary, inside the ovary only ovule is there, and after the fertilization process, ovary become fruit and ovule become seed of the fruit. Okay children, so this is called, everything is called sexual reproduction, which means the plants which reproduce their young ones with the help of seed is called as sexual reproduction. But we have one more type, asexual reproduction. The plants which produce their young ones without a seed is called as asexual reproduction. So in today's class, we will discuss about asexual reproduction in detail. Children, in today's class, we are going to see about pollination, natural pollination, artificial pollination, self-pollination, cross-pollination. These are the types of pollination, and we are going to see about fertilization. So, this pollination and fertilization process are involved in sexual reproduction. Okay, so this pollination and fertilization process are involved in sexual reproduction. What do you mean by sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction is the process of a new plant will be produced from the seed. Okay, so a new plant will be produced from the seed is known as sexual reproduction. For that, pollination process and fertilization process are important. And in today's class, we are going to see about asexual reproduction. Okay, so the types of asexual reproduction are vegetative propagation, budding, fragmentation, spore formation, modification of a plant parts. So these are the Asexual reproduction. What are they? Vegetative propagation, budding, fragmentation, spore formation are the asexual reproductions. And also we are going to see about modification of a plant parts. First one, pollination. The process by which pollen grains reach stigma is called as pollination. What do you mean by pollination? The process by which pollen grains reach stigma is called as pollination. What do you mean by pollen grains? Pollen grains are the part of stamen. What do you mean by stamen? Stamen is the male part of a flower. Okay. So pollen grains are the male part of the flower and it is called as stamen, and it reaches stigma. Stigma means it is the female part of the flower pistil. Okay. So the process by which male part of the flower pollen grains reaching the female part of the flower stigma is known as pollination. Pollinated flower. The flower that receives pollen grains is called pollinated flower. Yes. So this process, if it is taken, means that is called pollinated flower. Okay. So the flower that receives pollen grains is called as pollinated flower. Suppose if it didn't receive pollen grains, means then that is said to be as a non-pollinated flower. The one that did not receive pollen grains is called as non-pollinated flower. Okay. So first, what do you mean by pollination? The process by which pollen grains reach a stigma is known as pollination. Pollen grain means it is the male part of the flower, and stigma, it is the female part of the flower. Okay. So the process by which male part of the flower pollen grains reaching the female part of the flower stigma is known as pollination. Suppose if the flower that receives pollen grains, means that is called pollinated flower. Suppose if the flower that does not receive pollen grains, means that is called as non-pollinated flower. Can you understand? Yes. So what do you mean by pollination? The process by which pollen grains from the male part of the flower is reaching the stigma, female part of the flower, is known as pollination. Suppose, for an example, in the picture, this flower receives pollen grains from the male flower. So this flower is known as pollinated flower. Suppose this flower is not receives pollen grain, means that is called non-pollinated flower, which means that flower, in that flower, the pollination process will not occur. Okay. Next, types of pollination. Natural pollination and artificial pollination, in which pollen grains reach the stigma of the flower by nature, and it is called natural pollination. Okay. So natural pollination means pollination process should be taken by the nature. Okay. Nature means by wind, rain, and insects, birds. These are the natural pollinators. Okay. So the pollen grains reaching the stigma by nature process is known as natural pollination. Artificial pollination. Suppose if we transport the pollen grains from the male flower to the female flower, this is called as an artificial pollination. Okay. So if we transport the pollen grains to the stigma, means that is called artificial pollination. First, what do you mean by pollination? Pollination means reaching the pollen grains, male part of the flower, to the stigma, female part of the flower, is known as pollination. And we have two types of pollination: natural pollination, artificial pollination. So the pollination process means reaching the pollen grains to the stigma. Okay. This pollination process taken up by the nature. Nature means birds, insects, wind, water. So by the nature means that is called natural pollination. Suppose if we transport the pollen grains from the male flower to the female part of the flower means that is called artificial pollination. Okay. So the pollination process taken up by the nature means that is called natural pollination. Suppose this pollination process not done by the nature but we only doing it means that is called artificial pollination. Next, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Pollen grains are transferred from the anther to the stigma of the same flower or to another flower of the same kind, same plant is known as self-pollination. Self-pollination means reaching the pollen grains to the stigma. Okay, reaching the pollen grains to the stigma of the same flower or another flower of the same plant is known as self-pollination. For an example, we have male part of the flower and female part of the flower in hibiscus. Okay, then that is said to be as a bisexual flower. Okay, so both male part of the flower and female part of the flower are there in hibiscus flower. Okay, so in a same flower, two part of the flowers also present. So the pollen grains of the hibiscus reaching the stigma of the same hibiscus means that is called self-pollination. That is called self-pollination. Or suppose if the pollen grains of the hibiscus flower reaching the another hibiscus flower but different plant means that is also called self-pollination. Okay, so reaching the pollen grains to the stigma of the same flower or another flower of the same plant. Okay, this is called self-pollination. And cross-pollination. Pollen grains are transferred from the anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of the same kind or different plant. Okay, so this is called cross-pollination. Okay, so self-pollination means reaching the pollen grains to the stigma of the same flower or the same plant. Okay, so different flower and same plant. This is called self-pollination. Cross-pollination means reaching the pollen grains to the stigma of the another flower, but it should be same kind. Okay, for an example, if we have many varieties of lady's finger plant. Okay, so if the pollen grains of the lady's finger is reaching the another variety of lady's finger, but that is called lady's finger. Okay, so this is called cross-pollination. Okay, what it does mean? Pollen grains are transferred from the anther of the one flower to the stigma of another flower of the same kind or different plant. Okay, so this is known as cross-pollination. What do you mean by self-pollination? Pollen grains are reaching the stigma of the same flower but another flower of the same plant. Both also must be same. But here same variety. Okay, but different kind of flowers. Okay, same variety but different kind of flowers is known as cross-pollination. And agents of pollination. The transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma is termed as pollination. This transfer of pollen grains occurs with the help of pollinating agents like wind, water, insects, birds. So what do you mean by pollination process? Pollen grains from anther, male part of the flower, to stigma. Okay, reaching the pollen grains from male part of the flower anther to the stigma, female part of the flower. This is known as pollination. This is known as pollination. Okay, and this pollination could be done with the help of nature is called pollinating agents. Okay, wind, water, insects. So this is called pollinating agents. So what are the agents of pollination? Wind, water, insects, birds. These are the agents of pollination, or we can say pollinators. So pollination in plant. So this is called self-pollination and this is called cross-pollination. So in the self-pollination, reaching the pollen grains to the stigma of the same flower, okay, of the same flower is called self-pollination. But in the cross-pollination, reaching the pollen grains to the stigma but another flower, but this is the same variety. Okay, now you can ask me, suppose there is different flower and different variety, means what will happen? What will happen means there is no pollination process occurs, so that only we can call them as non-pollinated flowers. Okay, so the process by which pollen grains are reaching to the stigma is known as pollination. So reaching the pollen grains to the stigma in the same flower or different flower but in the same kind means that is called self-pollination. But in the cross-pollination, reaching the pollen grains to the stigma but another flower but same kind, another flower but same kind means that is called cross-pollination. Suppose different flowers and different kind means what will happen? There is no pollination process occurs. So it is called as non-pollinated flowers. After pollination process, fertilization process will take place. Okay. So first, what do you mean by pollination process? Reaching the pollen grains to the stigma. So if it is in the same flower or different flower but same kind means that is called self-pollination, and different flower but same kind means that is called cross-pollination, but different flower and different kind means there is no pollination process occurs. And next one, if suppose it reaches already means what will happen? The next process. What is the next process? Fertilization process. So pollination and fertilization process only helpful in sexual reproduction. Okay, so here you can see clearly. Here first one, flower. Okay, so in this flower, this is called stamen. Stamen means it is the male part of the flower. In that we have anther. So here only pollen grains, anther only supporting the pollen grains, and pollen grains only main part of the pollination process. Then it reaches the female part of the flower, stigma. So this is the stigma. Okay, it reaches the female part of the flower, stigma. Then after that it will come inside and finally it reaches here. Okay, so this is the flower. Okay, and next one, after reaching the pollen grains to the ovary and it become the fertilized egg. It become the fertilized egg, becomes the embryo of the seed. Embryo means it is a new plant. Embryo means new plant. After that seed germination process will start place. Okay, so fertilization means after pollination, fertilization process will take place. So here in a flower, stamen is the male part of the flower, where it will be present near to the anther. Anther only supporting the stem pollen grains. Anther only supporting the pollen grains. Okay, and the pollen grains from the male part of the flower reaches the stigma, female part of the flower. At last it went inside the ovary, and after fertilization, ovary become fruit and ovule become seed. So from the seed we can get the new plant. So that process is known as seed germination. Okay, So what is the fertilization process? So reaching the stamen, male part of the flower, to the stigma, female part of the flower, is known as pollination. Okay. And after pollination, the stamen, from the stamen we get pollen grains. So that pollen grains reaches the ovary. Okay. Then after fertilization process, that ovary become fruit and ovule become seed. Okay. So from the seed we can get the new plant. This process is known as seed germination. Okay. So this is the fertilization process. And here when we cut LS side of a flower and TS of an ovary means we get this position. LS means longitudinal section of an ovary. TS means transverse section of an ovary. So if we cut into two types, our ovary will become like this in a LS section of an ovary, and ovary will become like in a TS of an ovary, and ovule is like this, here like this, and this is the pedicel. Pedicel is nothing but stem of a flower. Okay, that flower stem is called as pedicel. And post fertilization changes. Fertilization means after reaching the pollen grains to the stigma, it start to become a next plant, new plant. So after that what will happen? Post means next. So after that what will happen? Calyx sometimes persists with the fruit. Calyx means a cup-like structure below the sepal. Cup-like structure below the sepal, that is along with the fruit. Okay, what are the changes will occur after fertilization? So after fertilization, sometimes calyx will be there along with fruit, and petals fall off. Petals fall off, will fall down. Androecium will fall down. So androecium means male part of the flower. So after reaches only fertilization process starts. So androecium part will fall off, will fall down, and pistil remain and develops into a fruit. Yes. So male part of the flower fall off, but we need the female part of the flower, because then only it become a fruit. So female part of the flower pistil will be there, and style and stigma fall off. Why? Because here only in the stigma only pollen grains reaches, so it will fall off. And style, what is the function of the style? It only carries the stigma to the ovary, so that also will fall off. Then what we need now? Only ovary and ovule. Okay, so that ovary will become fruit and ovule will become seed after fertilization. So here ovary enlarges to store food materials and develops into a fruit. Yes, so ovary becomes fruit and ovule become seed. Okay, so these are the post fertilization process. Post fertilization means after fertilization. What will happen after fertilization? So first one, calyx sometimes will be there along with the fruits. Petals are fall down. Androecium, male part of the flower, fall down. Pistil, female part of the flower will be there and it develops into fruit. And style and stigma are the female part of the flower, that also will fall down. But ovary we need, and ovule also will be there. That ovary will become a fruit and ovules will become a seed. So these are the changes being there in post fertilization. Post fertilization means after fertilization. So far we have discussed about sexual reproduction. So in the sexual reproduction, we need two process. One is pollination process. Next one, fertilization process. And now we are going to see about asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction means it's just opposite to the sexual reproduction. The production of new plants without the involvement of pollination and fertilization is known as asexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction means pollination process and fertilization process takes place. Asexual reproduction means pollination and fertilization process will not take place. Now we are going to see about asexual reproduction. So here also they reproduce but without involvement of the seed. Okay. So what are the process? Vegetative propagation, budding, fragmentation, spore formation. So these are the types of asexual reproduction. Let us discuss one by one. First one, vegetative propagation. In potato, shoot arises from eyes. Shoot arises from eyes. In sugarcane also grown like this. Vegetative parts of the plants such as root, stem and leaves can help to propagate the plant. Propagate is nothing but new plant. Okay. So in a potato, shoot arises from eyes. Shoot means the stem part. Okay. Stem, branches. So these are the shoot. So after eyes, from the eyes only the shoot system will starts. And in sugarcane also like this only. Okay. So in the, you already seen the sugarcane plant, no. So sugarcane plant also it will comes under the asexual reproduction, that is vegetative propagation. And these vegetative parts, what do you mean by vegetative parts? Root, stem, leaves, and what are the reproduction parts? Flowers, fruit, seeds. Flowers, fruit, seeds are the reproductive parts, and vegetative parts, root, stem, leaves are the vegetative parts. So the plants which produce from the vegetative parts is known as vegetative propagation. Okay. So what do you mean by vegetative parts? The parts which is used for food. Okay. For an example, root, stem, leaves are helpful in the process of photosynthesis and in the process of collecting food. Okay. But in this plant like potato, sugarcane, so these parts are helpful in making the new plants. So this is called as vegetative propagation, and this is known as asexual reproduction, because without the involvement of reproductive organs like flowers, fruit, seeds, a new plant is created. So this is known as vegetative propagation. Budding. In this process of reproduction, a small bud arises as an outgrowth of the parent body. The newly created bud divides and grows into a new cells. For an example, this also is a type of asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction means without the involvement of seed, the plants are produced, is known as asexual reproduction. So budding is the type of asexual reproduction. So here you can see in the yeast cell, first one it is just a cell, second one developing bud, third one new bud, fourth one chain of buds. Then after that, at last these buds will remove from the parent cell. Okay, so this is the parent cell and these are the child cells. So after the new bud, so these buds will release from the parent. Okay, and these buds will become a new plant. These buds will become a new plant. Okay. So what is the budding process? A budding process, from the parent cell a new bud will be arises, and then the new buds will be developed, and after that this new bud will releases and will produce a new plant, and these new bud will become a new plant. So this is known as budding process. And next one, fragmentation. Each fragment or piece of a filament will grow into a new plant or individual. Likewise, Spirogyra produces so many young ones, and this process is known as fragmentation. So here Spirogyra is an algae. Spirogyra is an algae. Okay. So here, so this is the parent plant. Okay. So this is the parent, and from here, so each part of the Spirogyra is divided into many parts. Then after that, it is growing as a adult part. So this is known as fragmentation process. Okay. So what is fragmentation process? Fragment is nothing but a piece, a small piece. Okay. So from the parent, it just divided into many cells, and after that these cells are developing as a parent. Okay. So from these cells a new plant will be created. So this process is known as fragmentation. And next one, spore formation. Scarcity of water, high temperature, nutrient deficiency in soil, etc. or unfavorable conditions. So these are the not a normal conditions. These are the not a normal conditions. So these are the improper conditions. Okay. So during these conditions, non-flowering plants. What are the non-flowering plants? Algae, fungi, moss and ferns. So these are producing spores. Okay, what do you mean by non-flowering plants? Gymnosperms. Okay, what do you mean by non-flowering plants? Gymnosperms. The plants which do not produce flowers is known as non-flowering plants. So what is that? Algae, fungi, moss and ferns. These produces spores. Spores is nothing but like this. Okay, like a pollen grains in a plant. Okay, it's not a pollen grains. These we can say spores. Okay, after a adult plant, it releases spores. Then after what will happen now? They germinate into a new plant when favorable conditions are returned. Okay. So spore formation is nothing but it also a type of asexual reproduction. Okay. So asexual reproduction means without the help of seed, without the help of reproductive organs, a new plant will be created or new plant will be produced by the plants is known as asexual reproduction. So here spore formation also asexual reproduction, and during the unfavorable conditions it releases spores. Okay. So during the unfavorable conditions, water scarcity, high temperature or very low temperature, nutrient deficiency. So in these conditions, it releases spores. Then at last, it creates a new plant when the favorable conditions are returned. Favorable condition means a good position or good temperature, good atmosphere, good surroundings. So when these conditions are returned, that time it generates or it produces a new plant. So such a plants are algae, fungi, moss. Moss means it is a type of algae, and ferns produces spores. So this process is known as spore formation. Next, so type of reproduction is over. Okay, what are they? Sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. And now modifications of a plant parts. Usually we know that functions of root, stem and leaves. What is the function of the root? It only carries water and minerals for the plants from the soil, and stem, it only connects the root part to the highest part. Okay, it is a shoot system. It only transferring the nutrients to whole part of the plant. And leaves, these are mainly helpful in the process of photosynthesis because chlorophyll is a pigment that is present on the leaves. So these are helpful in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, but here you can see some vegetables: radish, beetroot, carrot. These are the vegetables. And can you tell me what this is the part? Which part of the plant this is? So this is root part of the plant. Which part of it? Root part of the plant. So here radish is a spindle shaped root. Radish is a spindle shaped root. Okay. So and top shaped root is beetroot and conical shaped root is carrot. In these plants, the roots are helpful in storing food. Okay, so these are storing the food. So these are we are consuming as food. Actually, these are the root part of the plant, but we are consuming it as a food. Okay, so this shape is spindle shape. So this is known as spindle shaped root, and this is the top shaped root, and this is feeling like a cone shape. So this is known as conical shaped root. Okay, so here functions are different. Okay, actually root function is it carries the water and minerals from the soil, but here this also doing as it is, but additionally we can consume them as a food because it stores its food in the root part. So radish is the spindle shaped root, and beetroot is the top shaped root, and carrot is the conical shaped root. Okay, so this is known as modification. Some changes are there in a plant means that is known as modification. For an example, you can see the cactus plant in a desert. Where can we see the cactus plant? We can see in a desert. So in this cactus plant, the plant itself is a stem. Okay, and the thorns present on this cactus plant is called leaf. Okay, so we can see the cactus plant now. So that is called stem. So there is no stem, proper stem in the cactus plant, but that plant itself called stem. And we can see some thorns in the cactus plant. So that thorns are the modified leaves of the cactus plant. So this plant is in an abnormal condition. Yes, now. So there is no separate stem or there is no separate leaves in that plant. So this is known as modification. Some changes there in the plant means that is known as modification. Now recapitulation. So what we have discussed in today's class? We have discussed about pollination. What do you mean by pollination? The reaching of pollen grains from the male part of the flower stamen to the stigma, female part of the flower, is known as pollination. Pollination means is the process of reaching the male part of the flower stamen to the stigma, female part of the flower, is known as pollination. Reaching the pollen grains from the male part to the stigma, female part, is known as pollination. Okay, pollen grains from one flower to the stigma of another flower is known as pollination. What do you mean by natural pollination and artificial pollination? So natural pollination means this pollination process, that means reaching the pollen grains to the stigma. This pollination process taken by the nature is called natural pollination. Nature means wind, insects, birds, water. These are called natural pollinators or agents of pollination. Okay, by nature means pollination process takes by a nature is called natural pollination. Artificial pollination, the pollination process taken by not a nature, which means if we are transferring the pollen grains of one plant to stigma of another flower means that is called artificial pollination. Okay, and self-pollination and cross-pollination. So self-pollination means reaching the pollen grains to the stigma but in the same flower or same kind of same flower but another plant is known as self-pollination. Okay, and cross-pollination, reaching the pollen grains to the stigma of same kind but another flower. Okay, same kind but another flower. Same variety of plants but another flower is known as cross pollination. Suppose different kind of flowers and different kind of plant is known as non-pollinated flowers. There is no pollination process occurs. Okay, so first pollination. Pollination means reaching the pollen grains from male part of the flower to the female stigma part of the flower is known as pollination. And this pollination could be done with the help of nature, insects, birds and animals. Water is known as natural pollination. Suppose if it is not done by the nature and we are transferring like this means it is called artificial pollination. Okay, and reaching the pollen grains to the stigma in the same flower means that is called self-pollination. Same flower or same flower with another plant is called self-pollination. Cross-pollination means reaching the pollen grains of one flower to the stigma of another flower but different kind of plant. Okay, same kind but different flower. Same kind but different flower is known as cross pollination. Okay, so if the pollen grains reaching from one hibiscus flower to the same another hibiscus flower means that is called self pollination. But reaching the pollen grains of one hibiscus flower to the different variety of another stigma female part of the flower means that is called cross pollination. For an example, if we have a drumstick flowers and if we have a coconut flower means, so the pollen grains of drumstick flowers will not reach the stigma of the coconut flower. It can reach but there is no next process will taken up. So this is called non-pollinated flower. There is no pollination occur there. After pollination, fertilization process occurs. Okay, after pollination, fertilization process occurs. What do you mean by fertilization? So after reaching the pollen grains to the ovary, okay, then the fertilization process takes place. The next one, what will be the next one? Ovary become fruit and ovule become seed. Then from the seed, a new plant will occur. So this is called seed germination. So this process is known as fertilization process. This pollination and fertilization process are comes under sexual reproduction. But we have one more type, asexual reproduction. Vegetative propagation. From the vegetative parts, a new plant is produced means that is called vegetative propagation. Okay, so vegetative parts means leaves, stem, branches, root are the vegetative parts because these parts are helpful in making food for the plants. From these parts, a new plant is produced means that is called vegetative propagation. Example, sugarcane, yam and potato. Budding. A new planters, a bud will be produced from the adult plant and after that, that bud develops, grows and releases from the parent. But produced from the parent, it grows, it develops and it finally it releases from the parent. This is called budding process. And fragmentation. So Spirogyra is an algae. So after the adult plant, from the adult one means matured one. Okay, so from the matured one, it cut into small pieces. It cut into various pieces and that pieces will grows, develops and finally it become a new plant. Okay, and spore formation. So during the unfavorable conditions, so spores will be produced and new plant will be produced when the favorable conditions are returns. Okay, so these are the asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction will reproduce the plants without the involvement of the seeds. Okay, so these are the asexual reproductions. Modification of the plant parts. Yes, So modification means some changes. We know the functions of root, stem and branches, and modification means these are not a normal in conditions. For an example, carrot, beetroot. So these are the root part of the vegetable, but these are the root part of the plant, but we are consuming as a food because these plants stores the food in the root, so that only we are consuming them as a food. Okay, so these are called as modification, some changes. Okay, because here this root also doing the root work. What is the root work? It carries the water and minerals from the soil. So this is the root work. It doing the root work of the root, and also it carries the food. It stores the food in the root. That's what we are consuming often. So this is called as modification of a plant. And even by seeing the pumpkin flower, you can guess whether that is male part of the flower, male flower or female flower. If you can see the bulb-like structure below the pumpkin flower sepal, so then that is considered as a female flower, and there is no bulb in the male flower in pumpkin flowers. Okay, so this is we have discussed in today's class, children. So pollination means reaching the pollen grains to the stigma is known as pollination, and after pollination, fertilization, the next process will take up, which means the new seed or new fruit will become, okay, it will become a vegetable, then fruit, then seed. So that process is known as fertilization. So pollination process and fertilization process are the sexual reproduction process, and some asexual reproduction process will take place. Asexual reproduction means without the help of seed, new plants will be produced, means that is called asexual reproduction. So from the vegetative part of the plant are producing, means that is called vegetative propagation. And budding from the parent cell, from the parent, a new bud will be develops, grows and turns into a new plant is called budding process. And from the adult plant, various pieces will cut and they grow into a new plant is known as fragmentation. And during the unfavorable conditions, they release spores. Who are release spores? Like algae, ferns, moss. These are releasing spores, and when the favorable conditions are returned, that time it create a new plant. This is known as spore formation. And some plants are modified in their structure, so this is known as modification. So here we know the carrot, beetroot are the root part of the plant, but we are taking them as a vegetable, so it stores food in the root part. So this is known as modification of a plant. We'll have some more topics that we'll discuss in the next class.